English vocabulary words for IELTS writing and expressions. Expressions. Topic. Vocabulary words for IELTS. Advertisement. Branding, endorsement, persuasion, jingle, consumerism, viral marketing, billboard. Target audience, slogan, product placement. Business. Entrepreneurship, inflation, startups, e-commerce, digital marketing. Venture capital, merger, blockchain, revenue model, sustainability. Culture. Multiculturalism, heritage, tradition, customs, ethnicity, globalization. Diversity, subculture, cultural assimilation, indigenous. Education. E-learning, pedagogy, curriculum, vocational training, scholarship. Literacy rate, EdTech, STEM education, online certification, homeschooling. Environment. Climate change, renewable energy, carbon neutral, sustainable development. Greenhouse effect, deforestation, circular economy, biodiversity, net zero, eco-friendly. Food. Organic, genetically modified, veganism, farm-to-table, processed food. Nutritional value, culinary art, superfoods, artificial flavors, food security. Fashion. Fast fashion, sustainable clothing, haute couture, vintage, minimalist style. Eco-textiles, ethical fashion, fashion capital, runway, trendsetter. COVID-19. Pandemic, vaccination, lockdown, herd immunity, remote work. Quarantine, social distancing, booster dose, health protocols, public health crisis. Travel. Ecotourism, backpacking, digital nomad, travel ban, sustainable tourism. Visa-free travel, staycation, adventure tourism, immigration policy, travel itinerary. Work. Remote work, gig economy, work-life balance, freelancing, hybrid model. Layoff, corporate culture, job automation, reskilling, professional growth. Word and definition list. Abandon. Lacking restraint or control, feeling of extreme emotional intensity, unbounded enthusiasm. With her parents out of town, Kelly danced all night with abandon. Abstract. Theoretical, not concrete, not applied or practical, difficult to understand. To him, hunger was an abstract concept, he had never missed a meal. Academy. School for Special Instruction, Society of Scholars, Scientists, or Artists. The mission of our academy is actually to ensure the health and the well-being of all children. Access. Approach, entry, entrance. It remains to be seen whether the multinationals like Chevron, ExxonMobil, and BP will give in to Mr. Chavez's brinksmanship, as they know he needs them as much as they need access to his oil. Accommodate. Do a favor or service for, provide for, supply with, make suitable, adapt, allow for. As for the stage in the public auditorium, it can easily be adjusted to accommodate from a full-scale musical production to one by a solo vocalist. Accompany. Travel with, be associated with. But the night being wet and inclement, Mr. Rochester did not accompany them. Accumulate. Pile up, collect, mount up, increase. The tendency of capital to accumulate is a big threat to the free market. Accurate. Capable of providing a correct reading or measurement, performing with care and precision. Very interesting. Can anyone tell me, how accurate is the English translation in the posted clip? Achieve. Gain with effort, accomplish, fulfill. Water, energy, health, agriculture, and biodiversity require the world's scientific community to come up with the means to achieve sustainable development. Acknowledge. Declare to be true or admit, express obligation, thanks. Although I acknowledge that the Beatles tunes sound pretty dated today, I still prefer them to the songs my brothers play. Acquire. Gain through experience or effort, gain possession of, locate with tracking system. As Norman Mailer once said to me, one of the hardest things to acquire is a persona, and you've got one. Adapt. Make fit for, change to suit a new purpose. One way to adapt is to become smaller, generation by generation. Adequate. Sufficient, enough to meet a purpose. England missed key players through injury, lacked adequate preparation and was unable to match Australia's skill. Adjacent. Adjoining, neighboring, close to, lying near. Philip's best friend Jason lived only 4 houses down the block, close but not immediately adjacent. Adjust. Adapt, regulate. The Opera House was handed over by the builders nearly a year ago, but it's taken many months to install new stage machinery and to adjust the acoustics. Administrate. Administer, supply, supervise or be in charge of. Remember that Democrats want to increase spending and create more laws which in turn create more government to administrate and enforce. Adult. One who has attained maturity or legal age, fully grown. Not clear from the video if the adult is a man or woman, but he or she is facing charges of endangering the welfare of a child. Advocate. Speak, plead, or argue in favor of, plead for, push for something. Some doctors advocate a smoking ban in the entire house. Affect. Have an emotional or cognitive impact upon. The move is likely to affect women and girls all over the world as international brands such as Mango and Zara have signed up to the agreement. Aggregate. Gather into a mass, sum, or whole, amount to. Before the Wall Street scandals, dealers managed to aggregate great wealth in short periods of time. Aid. Person or thing that promotes or helps in something done, helper, assistant. The company has also asked for an additional $3.50 billion in aid from the government. Albeit. /ol by it /add. Even though, although, notwithstanding. This question bothers me, albeit from a different perspective. Allocate. /locate /vsyn assign. Assign, distribute according to plan. Even though the Red Cross did allocate a large sum for the relief of the sufferers of the disaster, many people perished. Alter. /OLT, R, /VSYN modify, change, convert. Modify, cause to change, make different, convert. In public, neither Mr. Blair's visit nor the regional summit in Nepal has done anything to alter India's position on dialogue with Pakistan. Alternative /OLTRNTV/A. One of two or more things, ideas, or courses of action that may be used. Option, choice. Electron Instruments believed its desktop SEM was vastly superior to the next best alternative from a Japanese competitor. Ambiguous /AEMBGJS/A. Unclear or doubtful in meaning. His ambiguous instructions misled us, we did not know which road to take. Amend /MEN/VSYN correct, improve. Change for the better, improve, remove faults or errors. Would McCain amend executive orders to ensure that communications between persons outside government and White House staff are disclosed to the public? Analogy /NLD/NSYN similarity, parallelism. Similarity in some respects, comparison based on similarity. This analogy is almost always noted without further comment, although in fact it may be taken further. Analyze /NLAS/V. Resolve anything complex into its elements, separate into parts for purpose of examination of each separately. Don't spend all day calling agents about fees, pick 3 in your locality and analyze which is the best one. Analysis /NLSS/NSYN study, investigation. Study, investigation, process of breaking down a substance into its constituent parts. You can read more about those studies here, and my analysis is here. Annual /NJL/A. Occurring or payable every year. It says that the Queen's role in the annual state opening of Parliament should be changed. Anticipate /Anticipate/VSYN expect, predict. Act in advance of, deal with ahead of time, predict. Nature seemed to me benign and good, I thought she loved me, outcast as I was, and I, who from man could anticipate only mistrust, rejection, insult, clung to her with filial fondness. Apparent /PRNT/ASYN visible. Capable of being seen, or easily seen, open to view, visible to eye. It is apparent to all that he was guilty. Do you think anyone still trusts him now? Append /pen/VSYN attach. Attach, add as supplement or appendix. When you append a bibliography to a text, you have just created an supplementary material. Appreciate /PRI:/@/VSYN admire, value. Be thankful for, increase in worth, be thoroughly conscious of. I am truly thankful for the stocks, which would appreciate in value considerably in future years. Approach /PROT/NSYN access, method. Access, method. Faced with an increasingly competitive jobs market and frequent bad publicity over pay and conditions, the Army is getting ever more sophisticated and corporate in its approach to recruitment. Appropriate /PROPERT/VSYN acquire, allocate. Acquire, take possession of for one's own use, set apart for specific use. The ranch owners appropriate the lands that have originally been set aside for the Indians' use. Approximate /PRKSMT/VSYN approach. Approach, come near. The conclusions of yours both approximate to the truth. Arbitrary /RBTRR//RRBTRR/ASYN capricious, impulse. Randomly chosen, determined by chance or impulse, and not by reason or principle. He threw an arbitrary assortment of clothes into his suitcase and headed off, not caring where he went. Area /R//N. Plane surface, as of the floor of a room, open space in a building. Days of the week, list of common words in listening IELTS. IELTS. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Weekdays. Weekend. Months of the year, list of common words in listening IELTS. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Hobbies, list of common words in listening IELTS. Gardening, stamp collection, orienteering, caving, spelunking, scuba diving, snorkeling, skateboarding, bowls, archery, ice skating, dart, golf, billiards, photography, painting, embroidery, climbing, chess, parachute, pottery, wood carving. Subjects, list of common words in listening IELTS. Science, politics, architecture, law, geography, history, biology, archaeology, literature, statistics, mathematics, performing arts, visual arts, logic, physics, psychology, anthropology, economics, philosophy, chemistry, humanities, business management, agriculture. Continents, list of common words in listening IELTS. Australia, Africa, South America, North America, Asia, Europe, Antarctica. Countries, list of common words in listening IELTS. Cambodia, Switzerland, Turkey, England, Egypt, Mexico, Germany, Greece, Brazil, India, North Korea, Dominican Republic, France, Indonesia, Malaysia, New Zealand, United Kingdom, China, Italy, Nigeria, Pakistan, Singapore, Philippines, Denmark. Languages, list of common words in listening IELTS. Khmer, German, English, Japanese. Linguistics, bilingual, trilingual, polyglot, Portuguese, Mandarin, Bengali, Chinese, Hindi, Russian, Punjabi, Persian, Filipino, French, Italian, Greek, French. Studying at college/university, list of common words in listening IELTS. Course outline, group discussion, handout, research, proofreading, experiment, written work, report writing, experience, reference, textbook, student advisor, teamwork, module, topic, dictionary, laptop, printer, assessment, library, department, computer center, classroom, attendance, deadline, give a talk, speech, lecture, tutor, main hall, computer laboratory, certificate, diploma, placement test, facilities, college, dining room, specialist, knowledge, international, accommodation, overseas students, full-time, homestay, primary, secondary, intermediate, media room, commencement, dissertation, leaflet, school reunion, feedback, tasks, outcomes, advanced, introductory, extra background, resources room, staff, higher education, guidelines, post-secondary, faculty, pupils, pencil, supervisor, bachelor's degree, compound, foreign students, schedule, vocabulary, student support services, student retention, publication, registrar's office, stationery, work and job, list of common words in listening IELTS. Designer, occupation, profession, decorator, architect, engineer, waiter, teacher, vacancy, professor, specialist, manager, waitress, psychologist, volunteer, craftsman, work experience, curriculum vitae, freelance, secretary, mail address, receptionist, pilot, lecturer, office assistant, clerk, accountant, guard, flight attendant, cashier, captain. Health, list of common words in listening IELTS. Yoga, Tai Chi, keep fit, salad bar, vegetarian, outdoor activities, leisure time, disease, meal, protein, balanced diet, food pyramid, vitamin, carbohydrates, rice, pasta, potatoes, pizza, tomatoes, bread, cereals, minerals, zinc, meat, seafood, eggs, beans, milk, cheese, yogurt, fruit, vegetables, citrus fruits, green pepper, blackcurrant, nuts, egg yolk, liver, medicine, treatment, remedy, nursing care, nursery, regular exercise, nature, list of common words in listening IELTS. Field, footbridge, river, mountain, forest, village, environment, waterfall, coast, reef, lake, valley, peninsula, earthquake, avalanche, typhoon, hill, cliff, island, desertification, volcano, disaster, landslides, storm, flood, hurricane, pond, catastrophe, erosion, jungle, oasis, dam, canyon. Environment, list of common words in listening IELTS. Coal, fossil fuels, acid rain, global warming, carbon dioxide, greenhouse effect, burning fossil, exhaust fumes, smog, climate, pollution, temperature, power plants, deforestation, nitrogen oxide, landfill, cattle, wind turbine, renewable, source of energy, reliable, solar panels, solar power, hydroelectric power, environmentally friendly, oxygen, chemical free, vegetation, sea level, ocean currents, soil conditioner, firewood, desert, degradation, drought, contaminated. Marketing, list of common words in listening IELTS. Catalog, interview, research method, entertainment industry, TV program, strategies, leadership, management, customer, special offer, Collecting data. Display. Products. Questionnaire. Survey. Mass media. Poll. Business card. Training. Trainee. Statistic. Profit margin. Newsletter. Competition. Merchandise. Manufacture. Recruitment. Architecture and buildings, list of common words in listening IELTS. Dome. Palace. Fort. Castle. Glass house. Pyramid. Log cabin. Lighthouse. Hut. Skyscraper. Sculpture. Homes, list of common words in listening IELTS. Chimney. Bedroom. Semi-detached house. Duplex. Townhouse. Row house. Bungalow. Thatched cottage. Mobile home. Houseboat. A block of flats. Apartment building. Condominium. Basement. Landlord. Terraced house. Tenant. Rent. Lease. Neighborhood. Suburb. Dormitory. Story. Kitchen. Refrigerator. Microwave. Sofa. Coffee table. Ground floor. Oven. Hallway. Insurance. City, list of common words in listening IELTS. Central station. Cities. Street. Lane. City center. Car park. Department store. Bridge. Temple. Hospital. Garden. Avenue. Embassy. Road system. Transportations, list of common words in listening IELTS. Boat. Lifeboat. Cargo plane. Shipment. Container ship. Ferry. Liner. Canal boat. Narrowboat. Dinghy sailing. Hovercraft. Hydrofoil. Sailboat. Paddle steamer. Cabin cruiser. Kayak. Canoe. Punt. Gondola. Aircraft. Rowing boat. Rowboat. Helicopter. Seaplane. Airship. Hot air balloon. Airport. Platform. Hire a car. Automobile. Crew. Passenger. Workplaces, list of common words in listening IELTS. Staff selection. Clinic. Dentist. Reception. Appointment. Colleague. Workshop. Employer. Employment. Unemployed. Technical cooperation. Team leaders. Showroom. Information desk. Stress. Ability. Vision. Employee. Internship. Confidence. Places, list of common words in listening IELTS. Parliament. Accommodation. Local library. Swimming pool. Cafeteria. Cottage. Restaurant. Bookshop. Sports center. City council. Canteen. Cafe. Dance studio. Park. Conversation club. Kindergarten. Money, list of common words in listening IELTS. Cash. Debit. Low-risk investment. Credit card. Check. Annual fee. Monthly membership. Tuition fees. Poverty. Bank statement. Money management. Current account. Interest rate. Deposit. Student account. Withdraw. Mortgage. Grace period. In advance. Budget deficit. Retail voucher. Coupon. Counterfeit money. Debt. Interest-free credit. Purchase. Partial refund. Annuity. Public money. Taxpayers' money. Income. Non-refundable. MasterCard. Visa. Duty-free store. Distribution costs. Finance department. Family finances. Rating and qualities, list of common words in listening IELTS. Expensive. Cheap. Reasonable. Satisfactory. Dangerous. Poor quality. Satisfied. Disappointed. Efficient. Luxurious. Safe. Strongly recommended. Colored. Spotted. Striped. Touring, list of common words in listening IELTS. Souvenir. Trip. Tourist guided tour. Ticket office. Guest. Reservation. View. Culture. Single double-bedded room. Picnic. Tourist attraction. Hostel. Suite. Memorable. Aquarium. Adjectives, list of common words in listening IELTS. Energetic. Social. Ancient. Necessary. Fantastic. Exciting. Fabulous. Dull. Comfortable. Convenient. Suitable. Affordable. Voluntary. Mandatory. Compulsory. Temporary. Permanent. Immense. Vast. Salty. Extinct. Vulnerable. Pessimistic. Optimistic. Realistic. Practical. Knowledgeable. Flexible. Confident. Western. Intensive. Tranquil. Spectacular. Intact. Various. Verbs, list of common words in listening IELTS. Train. Develop. Collect. Supervise. Mark. Edit. Revise. Exhibit. Donate. Surpass. register, support, hunt, persuade, concentrate, discuss, suggest, arrange, borrow, immigrate, review, learn, touch, sports, list of common words in listening IELTS. Jet skiing, bodyboarding, snowboarding, cricket, baseball, basketball, rugby, hang gliding, skydiving, soccer, American football, hockey, swimming, tennis, squash, javelin, badminton, ping pong, field, court, pitch, stadium, team, discus, hammer, high jump, horse racing, show jumping, polo, cycling, canoeing, refreshment, gymnasium, extreme sports, paragliding, obseiling, athlete, gym, bungee jumping, whitewater rafting, surfing, windsurfing, kite surfing, mountain biking, push-up, judo, recreation, jogging, press-up, snooker, walking, barbell, treadmill, championship, shapes, list of common words in listening IELTS. Oval, square, rectangular, triangular, polygon, spherical, circular, curved, cylindrical, 3 dimensions, measurement, width, length, altitude, imperial system, metric system, spiral, mass, depth, breadth, height, frequency, weather, list of common words in listening IELTS. Humid, hot, sticky, breeze, chilly, cold, cool, dry, dusty, freezing, warm, wet, weather forecast, antenna, moisture, equipment and tools, list of common words in listening IELTS. Helmet, light, musical instrument, cassette, silicon chip, digital monitor, gadget, device, screen, brakes, wheels, mechanical pencil, disc, backpack, art and media, list of common words in listening IELTS. Opera, orchestra, concert, symphony, the press, conductor, vocalist, audience, festival, carnival, exhibition, classical music, theater, cinemas, art gallery, museum, ballet, television, radio, graphics, newspaper, animal, list of common words in listening IELTS. Lion, penguin, seabirds, poultry and game, birds of prey, mammals, genus, species, cetacean, whale, primates, rodents, reptile, insects, octopus, phylum, fish, amphibian, class, order, family, livestock, creature, vehicles, list of common words in listening IELTS. Camper, double-decker bus, single-decker, minibus, forklift truck, school bus, coach, truck, tanker, van, lorry, transporter, tow truck, breakdown truck, pickup, jeep, taxi, cab, tram, underground, subway, caravan, tractor, stream train, freight train, goods train. Expressions and time, list of common words in listening IELTS. Midday, 3 times, 3 times per week. Millennium, gap year, full time, part time, midnight, century, decade, fortnight. Materials, list of common words in listening IELTS. Aluminum, copper, fur, metal, steel, rubber, plastic, ceramics, cement, stone, textile, cotton, fabric, wool, glass, leather, bone, paper, lumber/wood, glue, concrete, wax, silver, composite, fiberglass, gold, feather. Others, list of common words in listening IELTS. Sufficient, dialogue, passport photo, state, variety, private sector, practice, gender, creativity, government, individual, original inhabitant, indigenous, demonstration, circuit, guarantee, commerce, carriage, narrative, strike, entrance, chocolate, satellite, decision, prototype, attitude, activity, recipient, ultrasound, pedestrian safety, daily routine, personal fulfillment, traffic jams, procedures, creation, senior, opportunity, driving license, prize, junior, process, literary, man-made, Republicans. Waiting list. Sewer systems. Liberal democracy. Democrats. Umbrella. Frequently updated. Lunar calendar. Libertarian. Burger. Videos. Fundraising event. Magnet. Dialect. Ramification. Straight. Nature conservation. Life expectancy. Farewell. Welfare. Encyclopedia. Illiteracy. Robot. Proficiency. Evolution. Revolution. 1 Synonyms for IELTS vocabulary. Learning common synonyms is a great place to start whether you're preparing for the IELTS exam or just want to improve your IELTS vocabulary list. Here are commonly used synonyms in the IELTS test that can help you get an edge on the exam. Word. Synonyms. Good. Excellent, outstanding, superb. Bad. Terrible, awful, poor, unpleasant. Big. Large, huge, massive, enormous. Small. Tiny, miniature, little, petite. Happy. Delighted, ecstatic, joyful. Sad. Unhappy, miserable, sorrowful. Important. Crucial, significant, essential. Interesting. Fascinating, intriguing, engaging. Difficult. Challenging, arduous, hard. Easy. Simple, effortless, straightforward. Beautiful. Gorgeous, stunning, attractive. Ugly. Hideous, unattractive, repulsive. Intelligent. Clever, brilliant, smart. Stupid. Dull, simple-minded, unintelligent. Great. Wonderful, marvelous, fantastic. Terrible. Horrible, dreadful, frightening. Many. Numerous, several, abundant. Few. Several, a handful of, limited. Improve. Enhance, upgrade, ameliorate. Worsen. Deteriorate, decline, degrade. Talk. Speak, converse, communicate. Big. Significant, substantial, sizable. Small. Miniature, diminutive, compact. Get. Obtain, acquire, secure. Use. Utilize, employ, apply. Show. Demonstrate, display, exhibit. Think. Ponder, contemplate, reflect. Explain. Elaborate, clarify, expound. Start. Commence, initiate, begin. Finish. Conclude, complete, wrap up. Help. Assist, support, aid. Harm. Injure, damage, endanger. Believe. Trust, have faith, convinced. Understand. Comprehend, grasp, perceive. Remember. recall, recollect, retain. Forget, neglect, disregard, overlook. Have, possess, own, hold. Like, prefer, admire, enjoy. Dislike, detest, loathe, despise. Problem, issue, challenge, difficulty. Solution, resolution, answer, remedy. Difficult, challenging, complex, demanding. Easy, effortless, simple, uncomplicated. IELTS vocabulary words, list 1. Blameless, innocent. Crazy, insane. Noted, famous. Madness, insanity. Arrogant, haughty. Awful, terrible. To disclaim, to deny. To vary, to differ. Accurate, correct. Sacristy, vestry. Dreadful, terrible. Immoderate, excessive. Cozy, comfortable. Garbage can, trash can. Perception, insight. Warranty, guarantee. Immediate, instant. Mind, intellect. Vague, indistinct. Understandable, comprehensible. Indisputable, undeniable. Terror, fright. Highbrow, intellectual. Cube, dice. Remote, isolated. Well-timed, timely. Gratuity, tip. Disadvantaged, deprived. Abundant, ample. To misconceive, to misunderstand. Denims, jeans. Connect, join. Ecstasy, joy. Magistrate, justice of the peace. Eager, keen. Wise, knowing. Crusade, campaign. To establish, to set up. Neutral, impartial. Vicious, ferocious. Interplay, interaction. To desert, to abandon. Touchdown, landing. Oblique, indirect. To accomplish, to achieve. Hashish, cannabis. To close, to shut. Defective, faulty. Mischievous, impish. Dormant, inactive. Idle, lazy. Turbulent, blustering. To disclose, to reveal. Dally, loiter. Isolated, lonely. Missing, lost. Drab, dull. Fortunate, lucky. Hearsay, rumor. Mendacity, lying. Superb, magnificent. Leading, main. Chiefly, mainly. Aggressive, militant. Noon, midday. Misfortune, mishap. Misread, misinterpret. Deceptive, misleading. Lacking, missing. Jealous, envious. Doubt, mistrust. Wrong, mistaken. Away, absent. To notify, to inform. Mannequin, model. Dicey, risky. Empty, drain. misery, distress. To behave, to act. Bendy, flexible. Extra, additional. IELTS vocabulary list with synonyms, Part 2. Boost your IELTS score with this comprehensive list of useful vocabulary words along with their synonyms. Understanding these word pairs will help you in all 4 sections of the IELTS exam: listening, reading, writing, and speaking. Vocabulary and synonyms. To administer, to manage. Murderer, assassin. To maintain, to preserve. Mediocre, fair. Aromatic, fragrant. Dispute, debate. Ambitious, aspiring. To foretell, to predict. To ignore, to disregard. Virtue, advantage. To cope, to manage. Appreciable, considerable. Disagreeable, unpleasant. Rubbish, nonsense. To bear on sth, to affect. Lousy, awful. To consult, to refer to. Cranky, cross. Macintosh, waterproof coat. Pocketbook, notebook. Middleman, intermediary. Paper money, notes. Infamous, notorious. Mirth, fun. Selection, choice. To quake, to tremble. Today, nowadays. Hate, loathe. Mean, unkind. Contaminate, defile. Impediment, obstacle. Construction, lit interpretation. Hostile, antagonistic. To function, to operate. Apparent, obvious. Comfort, consolation. Unstated, unspoken. Enormous, huge, immense. Sincere, honest. Imperfect, faulty. Obsolete, out of date. Above, overhead. Total, entire. Twosome, pair. Especially, particularly. Monotonous, boring. To hurry, to rush. Ardor, passion. Gut, intestine. Identical, duplicate. Immodest, conceited. Untrue, unfaithful. Achieve, accomplish. To annoy, to irritate, to bother. Awkward, clumsy. Completely, totally. To elevate, to raise, to promote. Insolvent, bankrupt. To rue, to regret. Essential, fundamental. Peaceable, peaceful. Nightfall, dusk. Handsome, good. Stupid, dense. Zenith, peak. Vacant, empty. Fragrance, perfume. Maybe, perhaps, possibly. Aid, help, assist. Bad, poor, naughty. Magician, conjurer. Unfortunate, unlucky. Gravestone, headstone. Housebreaking, burglary. To grab, to seize. Refrain, chorus. To disappear, to vanish. Painting, portrait. Adjourn, postpone. Instructions, directions. Momentous, powerful. Priority, precedence. Stationary, fixed. Praise, compliment. Insufferable, unbearable. Previous, preceding. Exactly, precisely. Mistrust, distrust. Early, premature. Untimely, premature. Antagonize, provoke. Citation, quotation. Naughty, disobedient. Cheesy, corny, tacky. Huge, vast. Hole, gap. Magnify, expand. Lethal, deadly. Immune, exempt. Mourn, grieve. Ban, forbid. Infrequent, rare. Spontaneous, automatic. To cite, to quote. Uncooked, raw. Arrive, reach, come. Dark, dismal. Unlawful, illegal. Knowingly, deliberately. Moderately, reasonably. Insurgent, rebel. Uprising, rebellion. Clerk, receptionist. Miserable, depressing. Curative, healing. IELTS vocabulary lists. Vocabulary words for IELTS, list 3. This is the third list of useful IELTS vocabulary words with their synonyms. Improve your academic and general English by learning new words with similar meanings. IELTS vocabulary list with synonyms. Negligent, inattentive. To differentiate, to distinguish. Inferior, substandard. Win, succeed. Hold, grasp. To nominate, to appoint. To near, to approach. To impact, to affect. Charter, constitution. Eccentric, unusual. Consecutive, successive. Morose, sullen. Disagree, differ. Invoice, bill. To withstand, to resist. Insupportable, intolerable. Meeting, assembly. To convey, to communicate. To denationalize, to privatize. Abstract, summary. Attractive, appealing. Illiberal, intolerant. To overhaul, to overtake. Anyway, besides. To respond, to reply. Précis, summary. Dry, arid. To minimize, to play down. Satisfied, convinced. Vain, useless. To conform, to comply. Conflict, clash. Twister, tornado. To float, to drift. Instinct, intuition. To admit, to confess. To intensify, to heighten. Intriguing, fascinating. Moderate, lenient. Minor, lesser. To infect, to contaminate. To vacuum, to hoover. Removable, detachable. Sundown, sunset. Joy, delight. Encourage, support. Class, lesson, course. To vanquish, to conquer. Turmoil, disturbance. To transform, to convert. To deprave, to corrupt. To chop, to cut. To diminish, to decrease. To involve, to entail. To magnify, to exaggerate. Constancy, fidelity. Ornament, decoration. Diminish, curtail. Nugatory, worthless. Revolting, disgusting. Torpid, lethargic. Prompt, immediate. To operate, to function. Vast, huge. To inspect, to examine. To collect, to gather. Impetuous, reckless. To receive, to get. Beneficent, generous. Nameless, anonymous. To confuse, to mix up. Overseas, abroad. To deduce, to infer. High, elevated. Convalesce, recover. Outside, external. To renounce, to give up. More and more, increasingly. To grouse, to grumble. To assure, to guarantee. Advocate, support. Coiffure, hairstyle. Forehead, brow. Discount, reduction. To appear, to seem. Except, apart from. To survive, to outlive. Migrant, drifting. Dead, lifeless. Notwithstanding, however. A native, a local. To visualize, to imagine. Informal, casual. To begin, to start. Infuriate, enrage. Animated, lively. Chorus, refrain. Necessary, essential. Provided, if. Remorse, regret. Domesticate, cultivate. Steady, regular. Testament, testimony. If, whether. Applicable, relevant. Difficult, hard. Trustworthy, reliable. Mend, repair. Moral, ethical. Nobility, the aristocracy. Repute, reputation. Abbreviate, condense. Unhurt, unharmed. Imperative, crucial. Dilute, weaken, thin. Yields words with meaning, list 4. This is the fourth list of IELTS vocabulary words along with their meanings or synonyms. These words are helpful for improving your academic English and preparing for the IELTS exam. IELTS vocabulary list with synonyms. To evaluate, to assess. Substantially, considerably. Dangerous, unsafe. Hall, corridor. French dressing, vinaigrette. To explode, to blow up. To collapse, to break down. To accumulate, to build up. Livid, furious. Remark, comment. Vibrate, tremble. Inflexible, rigid. To select, to choose. Spotlight, highlight. To illuminate, to clarify, to light up. Disaster, catastrophe. To encounter, to come across. To emphasize, to stress. Innocent, harmless. Undeniable, indisputable. Humiliate, embarrass. Beautiful, attractive. To impeach, to question. Bloodless, cold. Hard, tough. Dubious, doubtful. Reliable, dependable. Material, fabric. Infantile, childish. To imagine, to suppose, to assume. Clever, intelligent. Deliberately, intentionally. Last, final. Brave, courageous. Winery, vineyard. 1000 vocabulary words for IELTS. Here is the list of 1000 vocabulary words for IELTS with their meanings. IELTS vocabulary words list 1. Curler, roller. Grasping, greedy. Skull, cranium. Conscientious, virtuous. Hate, loathe. Foyer, lobby. Maneuver, manipulate. Numerous, many. Wonderful, marvelous. Bloodbath, massacre. Cruel, mean. Important, meaningful. Quite, fairly. In the meantime, meanwhile. Reminiscence, memory. Obligatory, compulsory. Unforeseen, unexpected. After, following, next. Intellectual, mental. Contemporary, modern. Humble, modest. Religious, devout. Impolite, rude. Second, moment. Temper, mood. Immobile, motionless. Mobile, movable. Hearsay, rumor. Pattern, sample. Homicide, murder. Incidentally, by the way. To condemn, to sentence. Devil, Satan. Passable, satisfactory. Contented, satisfied. Warranty, guarantee. Meager, scanty. Almost, nearly. Afraid, scared. Dull, blunt. Comic, comedian. Stupid, silly. To renew, to resume. Hint, trace, tip. Uncared for, neglected. Damage, hurt. Easy, simple. Transparent, obvious. Moment, occasion. To beat, to defeat. Unbiased, impartial. Rude, impolite. Deserted, abandoned. To denote, to indicate, to represent. Unmarried, single. Cry, sob. Foxy, cunning. Depraved, wicked, evil. Ability, skill. Scrumptious, delicious. Mysterious, occult. Couch, sofa. Vacancy, emptiness. Special, exceptional. Daybreak, dawn. Trivial, worthless. Naked, bare. To bring sth. Back, to reintroduce. Arise, occur. Convention, conference. uninjured, unhurt. Mild, gentle. Earth, soil. Movie, film. Beneficial, favorable. IELTS vocabulary words list 2. To illustrate, to demonstrate. To hazard, to endanger. Worn, old. Everlasting, eternal. Enemy, opponent. Modern, contemporary. Uncommon, unusual. Non-stop. Pressing, urgent. Amateur, beginner. To narrate, to relate. Possibility, opportunity. Abandon, forsake. Contrary, opposite. Famous, famed, renowned. Militant, combative. Poisonous, toxic. Dirty, soiled. Help, aid. To intend, to mean. Association, organization. Continue, persist. Branch, department. Fool, idiot. Particular, specific. Upset, perturb. Inventory, stock. Independent, autonomous. To bring SB up, to raise. Conservative, cautious. To oversee, to supervise. Surplus, excess. Decontrol, deregulate. Nervous, perturbed. Choosy, picky. Midway, halfway. Deliberate, planned. Fantastic, great, brilliant. Impatient, eager. Believable, plausible. Omnipotent, all. To imitate, to mimic. Belly, stomach. Nice, pleasing. Gratis, free of charge. Well-mannered, polite. Able, capable. To glitter, to sparkle. Ballot, poll. Formerly, previously. New, fresh. Precept, principle. Approve, endorse. Before, prior. Must learn, most basic vocabulary words for beginners. Fanatic, enthusiast. Precedence, priority. Yield, produce. Economic, profitable. Suggest, propose. Inheritor, heir. Unusual, strange. Impasse, deadlock. Thrive, prosper. Successful, prosperous. Hypothesis, speculation. Hard, firm. Backbone, spine. Constitution, structure. Sunrise, dawn. Valueless, worthless. Awful, atrocious. To demonstrate, to protest. Adult, grown. Measure, degree. Divide, split. Man-made, artificial. To put sth. Back, to postpone. Cussed, stubborn. Lovable, habitable. Obdurate, stubborn. Intermittent, sporadic. Drastic, extreme. Moreover, in addition. detached, indifferent. Immaculate, spotless. Vocabulary words for IELTS List 3. Dedicated, committed. Ignorant, unaware. Constant, fixed. Intolerant, bigoted. Congested, stuffed. To symbolize, to represent. Dash, sprint. Hunger, starvation. Stable, steady. Stable, steady. Egocentric, selfish. Hospitable, cordial. Legitimate, valid, leva. Mindless, senseless. Destiny, fate. Touchy, sensitive. Lupa, crazy. Imperative, vital. Business, commerce, trade. Honest, truthful. Napkin, serviette. Disgrace, shame. Confederate, accomplice. To inquire, to investigate. Sure, certain. To provide, to supply. Phantasm, illusion. Scarcity, shortage. Delicate, fragile. Dull, person, stupid. Dawn, daybreak. About, approximately. To hawk, to peddle. Constantly, always. To overlook, to miss. Barren, infertile. Merciless, cruel. Bizarre, weird. Continuous, continual. Maximum, uppermost. Bum, backside, behind, bottom. To mirror, to reflect. Commencement, graduation. Dumb, stupid. Usually, generally, normally. Becoming, fitting. Concord, harmony. Always, forever. Bashful, shy. Soiled, dirty. Daring, bold. To expire, to run out. Insufficient, inadequate. Signal, sign. Foolish, silly. Candy, sweet. Happily, fortunately. Word, synonym. Inflow, influx. Surroundings, environment. Tailored, tailor. Impassive, emotionless. Docile, tame. Transitory, temporary. Internal, inner. A narrative, a story. To mimic, to imitate. Gay, homosexual. Bid, tender. Organic, biological. To confine, to restrict. Convenient, handy. To migrate, emigrate. Vocabulary words for IELTS List 4. Blameless, innocent. Crazy, insane. Noted, famous. Madness, insanity. Arrogant, haughty. Awful, terrible. To disclaim, to deny. To vary, to differ. Accurate, correct. Sacristy, vestry. Dreadful, terrible. Immoderate, excessive. Cozy, comfortable. Garbage can, trash can. perception, insight. Hang, out. Immediate, instant. Mind, intellect. Vague, indistinct. Understandable, comprehensible. Indisputable, undeniable. Terror, terrorism. Highbrow, intellectual. Cube, dice. Remote, isolated. Well-timed, timely. Gratuity, tip. Disadvantaged, deprived. Abundant, ample. To misconceive, to misunderstand. Denims, jeans. Connect, join. Ecstasy, joy. Magistrate, justice of the peace. Eager, keen. Wise, knowing. Crusade, campaign. To establish, to set up. Neutral, impartial. Vicious, ferocious. Interplay, interaction. To desert, to abandon. Touchdown, landing. Oblique, indirect. To accomplish, to achieve. Hashish, cannabis. To close, to shut. Defective, faulty. Mischievous, impish. Dormant, inactive. Idle, lazy. Turbulent, blustering. To disclose, to reveal. Dally, loiter. Isolated, lonely. Missing, lost. Drab, dull. Fortunate, lucky. Off, season. Mendacity, lying. Superb, magnificent. Leading, main. Chiefly, mainly. Aggressive, militant. Noon, midday. Vague, indistinct. Misfortune, mishap. Misread, misinterpret. Deceptive, misleading. Lacking, missing. Jealous, envious. Doubt, mistrust. Wrong, mistaken. Away, absent. To notify, to inform. Mannequin, model. Dicey, risky. Empty, drain. Misery, distress. Impartial, neutral. Impartial, neutral. To behave, to act. Bendy, flexible. Extra, additional. Words for IELTS list 4. To administer, to manage. Murderer, assassin. To maintain, to preserve. Mediocre, fair. Aromatic, fragrant. Dispute, debate. Ambitious, aspiring. To foretell, to predict. To ignore, to disregard. Virtue, advantage. To cope, to manage. Appreciable, considerable. Disagreeable, unpleasant. Rubbish, nonsense. To bear on sth. To affect. Lousy, awful. To consult, to refer to. Cranky, cross. Macintosh, waterproof coat. Pocketbook, notebook. Middleman, intermediary. paper money, notes. Infamous, notorious. Mirth, fun. Selection, choice. To quake, to tremble. Today, nowadays. Self, assured. Mean, unkind. Contaminate, defile. Impediment, obstacle. Construction, lit. Interpretation. Hostile, antagonistic. To function, to operate. Apparent, obvious. Comfort, consolation. Unstated, unspoken. Enormous, huge, immense. Sincere, honest. Imperfect, faulty. Obsolete, out of date. Above, overhead. Total, entire. Twosome, pair. Especially, particularly. Monotonous, boring. To hurry, to rush. Ardor, passion. Gut, intestine. Identical, duplicate. Immodest, conceited. Untrue, unfaithful. Achieve, accomplish. To annoy, to irritate, to bother. Awkward, clumsy. Completely, totally. Post, mortem. To elevate, to raise, to promote. Insolvent, bankrupt. To rue, to regret. Essential, fundamental. Peaceable, peaceful. Nightfall, dusk. Handsome, good. Stupid, dense. Zenith, peak. Vacant, empty. Fragrance, perfume. Maybe, perhaps, possibly. Aid, help, assist. Bad, not good, poor, naughty. Magician, conjurer. Unfortunate, unlucky. Gravestone, headstone. Housebreaking, burglary. To grab, to seize.